I'm Tom Johnson, Thomas Johnson Antique Furniture Restoration in Gorham, Maine. This is a Shaker ladderback chair. Shakers were a communal organization. They peaked in the last half of the 19th century. They made their money through agriculture and also selling different home furnishings. Their most recognizable object being these ladderback chairs. All this information comes from the Illustrated Guide to Shaker Furniture by Robert F. W. Meader. A very interesting chair is called a tilter. And so it's designed to tilt so that you can tilt back. And it has a ball and socket arrangement which allows the chair to tilt back. You'll also notice that this chair is slanted back. And that also apparently was done on purpose also to make them a little more comfortable from the straight back chairs they started out with. And they made all kinds of chairs. Some of them, all the legs were tilted back. The original ones were straight. And later they made chairs with straight front legs but bent back legs. But this arrangement was far from perfect. There were a lot of problems. You can see here, this one is missing, and the wood around the back of the leg where it's so thin is broken away. That was a common problem. The Shakers themselves would repair these with a piece of tin wrapped around here. They also experimented with making a metal ferrule with a metal ball and socket arrangement. We say experiment because apparently it never went into production. There's only 3 known examples of that. So I've got to make a new ball with a pad, and I've also got to repair this little area in the back of this leg. So I'm going to get some wood in here where it's broken, and then I will attempt to determine the diameter of this socket, and I'll have to turn one. think I'll use this section right here. I'm going to use West System epoxy to glue this piece on. You may have heard it said never use epoxy on antiques, and that's true in as much as you never want to re-glue the joints of a piece of furniture with epoxy. But for a little high stress repair like this with suspect wood-to-wood contact, it's the best thing for the job. So while this is drying, I can get started on making this ball. It looks like about 1 3/16. So I figured that this ball is 1 3/16, but I was unsure if this foot made this piece longer or not. But I can see here that this socket is 3/4 of an inch deep. Actually, I'm going to say more like 5/8 deep. And I can see that this ball extends above the socket just about a 1/2 inch, maybe less. So with apologies to my metric friends, the 5/8 and 1/2 equals 1 1/8. So it could be that this ball is a 1 1/8 diameter. I was going a little bit big with 1 3/16. The foot is included in that. I might need to make this a little smaller. I'm going to make a template so I can get this ball right. So I'm going to make 2 templates. I'll make one 1 1/8 and one 1 1/4, just a little larger. Oh, I'm not even close to 1 1/4 yet, much less 1 1/8. Now, before I do anything else, I got to finish the work on the socket. All right, let's try the ball out. All right, looks good. Definitely not too big. It moves freely. That's good. I can't tell if I'm the same height as that. I'm pretty darn close, that's for sure. The straight edge looks parallel to this, more or less. I think I'm gonna go with this. Now, how in the world am I going to thread that piece of leather through there? And I just realized I can check this for level with the new foot before I install it. Well, it looks really good. The stretcher seems parallel to the surface, but I am getting a rocking here. I don't think there's much I can do about this now. I think I should install the new foot, and then if it seems to be a problem, I can either take some off this foot or add maybe a little bit of veneer to the bottom of the new foot. So the tension on the leather does make a difference. If I pull it really tight, it doesn't want to move. I loosen it up, it moves a lot more freely. So I definitely want to just leave it loose. Yeah, that seems like a good level of movement there. Still has a little bit of that wobble, but it definitely might be the same.
I could take a little off this front leg to stop it from rocking, but I think instead I'll add a piece of veneer to the bottom of my new foot. I'll clean this area with a little crud cutter. Ended up having to scrape that Scotch tape off. Alright, this is dried really quickly, like in an hour. But I can see that I do want to put some color on this ball, the foot itself, and maybe tone it a little bit. I'll go over all the parts I shellacked with a Scotch-Brite pad, just lightly, smooth it up. This is a little brown maple dye stain. Oh good, it's not too dark. My biggest fear was that it might be too dark. And now I'll seal everything with some spray shellac. Well, the shellac is dried, so now I'll hit it with a little bit of flat lacquer. I may have to rethink the stain I put on that new piece. This is dried for about an hour. Now we'll see what it looks like. Not bad. This is a medium brown walnut toner. Okay, I think I'll take the tape off and then tone this whole area a little bit. Okay, we'll let this dry and then check it out on the floor. And I'll go over the entire chair now with this orange oil and beeswax polish. So there you have it. Nice little shaker tilting chair. Kind of unusual in my experience. The whole chair is tilted back. And then of course the socket, the ball foot was missing, and I made a new one. I think it looks pretty good. This job took approximately 6 hours. I used the jointer, the table saw, the lathe, the drill press, the bandsaw, and these hand tools.